Hello, and welcome to the Kreative Devices Mobile Podcast, a podcast created for all Kreative Devices users to tell their story and to help bring even more creative awareness to the world. Today we're joined by the one and only Bella Kelly. How you doing, Bella?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking the time to sit down and have this conversation with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, Bella, obviously I know who you are. Lots of people know who you are, but please, for those who may not know, let us know, who is Bella Kelly, what do you do, etc.
I am an artist and a songwriter, and I write and make all of my music with my partner, David Nazi. And I've been doing that since I was younger, but I started professionally doing it around the age of 17.
Hmm.
And so that's what I do.
Okay. And how did you get started in this? What was your inspiration? What made you want to become an artist?
Well, music, I've always been enamored by music because it connects people through all different ways. Even I listen to even Arabic music, which I don't understand anything they're saying, but I love to listen to it because you don't really need to understand the words to love a song or to listen to it. So I think that's really cool. And music helps me a lot, like it does a lot of people when I was in a really dark time when I was younger, and I just wanted my music to do the same thing, a similar thing, just be an escape for people, just something they
Mm.
can listen to, or maybe writing through experience I've had, they could say that they're not alone in the experiences that they went through.
Okay, awesome. So when you started working on music, what were your inspirations? Like, who did you listen to? Who did you look up to artist wise?
Lana Del Rey is a big one. I really, really, really adore her music. She's so talented with songwriting and singing. So I've always looked up to Lana Del Rey. And another one is Marina. She actually just released her own song without any labels or anything, and she's doing like really good. And I've always looked up to both of them since I was younger. So those are two big inspirations for me.
Okay. And did you have any idea of the route you wanted to take as an artist? Did you want to create your own sound, or did you want to blend sounds from different artists that you like?
I wanted to make my own sound, but I definitely did get inspiration from Lana Del Rey and Marina. But David's helped me tremendously throughout my journey as an artist, and he's helped with developing me as an artist. And so I definitely wouldn't be as knowledgeable as I am today without David.
Yeah, David's great. Oh, awesome. So I know you have access to lots of gear because you work with David, but when you were starting out and you wanted to record yourself, what were you using in the beginning?
When I was very first starting, I don't remember the name of it directly, but I was around the age of 15, 16, and my mom bought me this little setup from Guitar Center, and I
Hmm.
just used that to record my ideas that I had and stuff like that. It was just, I think I had a little amp because I had my first guitar was an acoustic guitar that I used. So then I got electric guitar, and I really preferred the electric guitar. I think it was a lot more funner for me. So that
Okay,
was what I used in the beginning.
awesome. So you play guitar too. That's great. Do you play any other instruments besides guitar?
The piano. I'm probably much more talented at the piano. I'm kind of rusty with
Mm.
the guitar.
Yeah, you and me both. I've had conversations about that. I need to start practicing more myself. But
Yeah, I'm rusty.
yeah, well, the good thing with the guitar is it's like riding a bike. Once you pick it back up for a certain amount of time, you'll get back into it. You never really lose it. You just have to work at it. But all right, so we know you play guitar. We know you play piano. and we know how you started musically. But before you got to working with David, when it was time for you to record your own ideas, how did you get your ideas down? Were you using a tape recorder? Were you using an old computer and an old interface? What did you use when you started recording your ideas?
I actually just used my iPad. I had an iPad and I used the audio recording through the iPad, and I kind of just made
Mhm.
mini demos out of song ideas. And then when I met
Mhm.
David, I played those all for him, and then we got them recorded through my on his laptop and computer, and it was a lot better. So now I definitely use a better thing.
Wow, yeah, that's it's a big jump from an iPad to a computer and recording. All right. I've heard some of your stuff. It's very good, I have to say.
Very much.
You-
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, I know that David got the Creative Devices laptop from us, the G16, and I know that you use it as well. What is it like using that device going from what you were using before?
It's really fast. That's one thing I really love about it when you edit videos, because I do post videos on my YouTube, like when I do covers, or even sometimes I do random things like a vlog, and it's really fast to edit compared to other laptops. So that's the one feature
Mm,
that I really, really like about it.
okay.
So the fast editing is something that's a big plus for me.
Ah, nice, nice. That's great. All right. So yeah, it's great for video editing. The G16, all our graphics series laptops are good for that. Have you done any recording on it at all?
I have. I actually have a little setup in our second bedroom, and it's like my own mini studio.
Okay.
But I use this, actually have it, I it's right here next to me. I use this
Okay.
laptop, and David made a whole little setup for me. I have a little Motu thing that I connect to it. And
Okay.
yeah, and then I put down my ideas on it. And it's also easy because I can plug in electrical mini keyboards, and I can
Hmm.
create my idea and put it down onto the laptop and save it really easy. So that's definitely a lot easier to create a song idea than to just record it on an iPad.
Nice, nice. Okay. Well, technology has come a long way today,
Mhm.
compared to where it was before, and we're all lucky enough to be able to take advantage of it. Speaking of technology, is there anything that you feel you would like to see in future devices that would help you make music easier?
I'm just not really sure. This laptop is really good for me. It works like really fast, really smooth. There's not really much I would fix about it other than I would make it pink or something like that.
Pink. Okay. Well, we'll have to see if we can figure out a pink one for Bella. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So before we get off of that, is it safe to assume that if you knew someone that was starting out now and they wanted to be able to afford something that was fast and powerful, but they didn't have a lot of money, would you recommend the Creative Devices laptop to them?
Definitely. Also because the storage on it is massive. It has such a huge storage, so I would definitely.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Bella, as far as you and your music is concerned, do you have anything that you are able to reveal to us that's going to be coming out in the near future?
Well, I have been songwriting. I always song like I always write music and songs, but me and David are working on a song right now, but
Hmm.
it's TBA to be announced. But I
Okay.
am still posting covers and little thrillers of the song to come.
Okay. And what about videos? You have plans for videos and other little side projects?
I'm not videos right now, but we are working on a few new songs that are going to be coming out.
Okay. Now, if you could create anything, like the craziest thing that, you may not have been able to create thus far. But if you wanted to create a song, do you have any ideas in your mind where you think, man, I wish I could do this and I wish I could do that? You have any ideas like that?
Definitely, but having being able to work with someone like David, he he understands my brain, so anything that I want to make come to life, he does it pretty well. And thankfully he has like laptops that are really cool, computers that are really cool, so he's able to bring those visions that I have to life really easily. So
Mhm.
I don't think right now that I have anything that I am thinking I wish I could create. I think that me and David are able to, as a team, create anything that I have in my mind because of the cool stuff that we have.
That's awesome. So, Bella, if you wouldn't mind, uh, I'm sure a lot of people out there that already know who you are, and even those who don't know, maybe they'd want to know more about you, like where you come from, your background, where you would like to go in the future, etc.
Um, where I come from, like, I was born in Seattle, Washington, and then I moved here to Los Angeles. And when I was around 8 years old, and then I actually started acting first. It was fun, but I wasn't passionate about it. I was always passionate about music and songwriting and singing. That was always my passion. So I drifted more towards the singing, especially when I hit 16. That's when I started getting more serious about the singing career. So that's a little short thing of my story and how I got started in it. Any tips that I would have for people who are aspiring artists?
Yeah, that would be great.
I would say if it's something that you really want and it's your dream, don't let anyone tell you differently. And it's definitely not an easy road to go down as an independent artist, but it is worth it. And just
Mhm.
always keep doing what you love to do. Never give up on yourself, even on the hard days. Don't give up on yourself. It's okay. Just get back up if you have an issue or a bump. And that's pretty much a good tip that I would tell my 16-year-old self.
That's awesome. I'm sure a lot of people need to hear that. It's definitely not easy trying to be an artist today. It's a lot harder now.
Hmm.
There's so much more competition, and everyone is expected to fit into a particular slot or role. It's hard to just be yourself and do your own thing and hope that people will accept and appreciate it. So it's very good information. Thank you. Now, as far as you, I know you're working on stuff right now. Where would you like to see your project, let's just say within the next 5 years?
I just want to be able to reach more people to make them feel less alone and for my music to be kind of a safe space for them in a way.
Mhm.
But I'm not really big on numbers and stuff like that, so I don't really have
Mhm.
I never thought about that in the bigger plan, but I just want to be able to reach more people so that they can, if they have similar experiences, because songs, everyone takes a lyric in a different way. We could all hear the same lyric, but you could have a different feeling or story in your mind to it than I have. So I think that's really cool about music too. Because you could listen
Mhm.
to a song and think of a completely different story than I do, which I think is awesome about music.
Yeah, that's true. There's so many different ways to interpret the same lyric, and even the same idea. Like you listen to a song that someone made, how they interpret it when they created it, and then maybe someone will hear it and they'll like it and they'll cover that song and they'll change it and do it in their own way, and you'll hear their interpretation of it. And sometimes you'll hear several different artists cover the same song and they each have their own interpretation of the song. You know, M- music is great like that. Absolutely. Yeah. So, Bella, I've been asking you all of these questions. Is there anything that you would like to ask me?
Sure. Um, is there anything that you would like to see in the technology world that you would think of that you would like to come to life?
There's so many things. All of it may not be realistic,
Mhm.
but
In
you
theory.
know, in theory, well, we have a lot today, right? There's so many things that allow us to do almost everything we would want to do. I, like David, am a fan of the analog sound, right? There's just something about that analog sound that digital just has a difficult time recreating. It's
Yeah.
gotten so much better now, but it's still not close enough. It's closer, but not close enough. The great thing about digital is the convenience. You cannot beat the convenience of digital, but you also cannot beat the authenticity of that analog sound. There's just something about it. It sounds more moving, more natural, more alive, where in the box just has a kind of sterile, flat sound. It's very transparent and clear, but it's also very sterile and flat sounding, which is why, so many people spend a lot of money on classic gear that might have more inherent noise and harmonic distortion, but that gives that character to the sound. It gives a lifeness to it. Aside from that, obviously wishing that we could have uh, an exact comparison between, digital and emulations. I would like to be able to create anything my mind can come up with. Obviously, our minds can come up with some pretty interesting things that might be difficult, but there are some things I would like to do. I would like to help build, but unfortunately, I have to be honest and accept the fact that I'm bound by certain limitations.
Mhm.
And, maybe one day those limitations will be lifted and I'll have more access to be able to do more things. But for right now, it is what it is. But that was a great question, though. Thank you.
That's a great answer.
Thank you. Thank you. I like that. Do you happen to have anything else?
What is your favorite part about the creative laptop?
My favorite part. I would have to say everything because, and the reason I would have to say everything is we designed these laptops to be the ultimate price per performance devices. Obviously, you can find something that could technically perform better, but you'd be paying maybe 4 times the price, right? Our devices outperform other devices that cost twice the price, some even more, or run just as well as them. So if you can't afford, let's just say someone's starting out and you can't afford to spend $3,000 to $6,000 on a high performing computing device to get your ideas across, you can get one from us for a fraction of that cost. That's just as powerful, if not more powerful in certain cases. And even if you could afford to spend that 3 to 6,000 or even more, because
Mhm.
I've seen some that are a lot more,
Yeah.
even if you could afford it, why would you?
Yeah.
I some people just like wasting money. I don't understand it. I think people buy certain things because they like the aspect of being able to say, "Oh, I have this brand name thing." It makes them feel like, like they have it's a status symbol almost, right? Like
Mhm.
there's people who will buy a Mercedes not necessarily because they think the Mercedes was the best buy, but they'll buy it just because they want this to be able to be looked at like, "Oh, this person has the Mercedes,"
Mhm.
Me personally, I don't care about that. If I buy a Mercedes, it's because I think it was a great buy.
Yeah.
There's things about it that I bought because I wanted it. I compared it to everything else, and it seemed to be the best buy for me, not just because it says Mercedes and I want people to think I am, capable to own something like a Mercedes. Even if I can afford it, even if I could afford 1,000 of them, I wouldn't buy one if it's not something that made sense to me. That's
Yeah.
just the way that I am. So I think Creative Devices is helping many people, the people who can't afford uh, very powerful creative devices. Now you can afford one, and the people who can afford them but don't want to waste the money on it, you can buy one of ours as well.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
even for college students, it's great too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. College students, they don't have a lot of money, Even if you're not even if you're not a creator, but like
Yeah.
you said, if you're a college student or you're doing business, you don't have a lot of money or you
It's
don't want to
great
spend
choice.
a lot of money on something, but you don't want a slow computer, you
Hmm.
can get one of ours and
Yeah.
it will work for whatever it is you want to do with it, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. So the whole idea was to try to help people. I wish there was something like this when I started. Unfortunately, there wasn't. And I just happened to be in the position to be able to offer it to people. And I realized no one else was going to do it. So, I try to be the change that I would like to see. That's all I can do.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. And here we are today. And because of this, I've been lucky enough to meet incredible people like yourself. We met just last month,
Yeah.
and David and so many other people that I've been communicating with online. I got to meet them in person, and I'll end up meeting more people. And I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to be able to offer this to people, to help make that difference, and to meet great individuals who also like what I'm doing and help support. I'm very appreciative.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome, Bella. I very much looking forward to hearing what's coming out next from
Yeah.
you. You're welcome. And David, I like what I've heard so far, and I know you've played some performances out there in LA. How did you think those shows went? I've heard good things, but what's your personal opinion on the shows?
I think that it was a lot of fun to
Mm-hmm.
the latest one that I've done was at the Whiskey Go Go, and that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
My very very first performance I did was at We Love Candy Festival,
Okay.
and it was very hot in there. To be honest, I was a little
Wow.
overheated as I was performing, but
Wow.
it was so much fun. I had one of my close friends and David's close friends was a backup dancer, and she brought her friend, and they wore these super cool cyber girl outfits, and they were awesome, amazing. They didn't perform with me at the Whiskey, but um yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was awesome. So that's my experiences with performing. I just remember it being so hot, and I was like, wow, it's hot in
Wow.
here.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's awesome, but you performed at cool places, and the Whiskey, that's a legendary venue.
Yeah, that was
Everyone's known that.
amazing. I'm so grateful to even be able to have done that. That was a really amazing memory for me.
Yeah, I went to a show at the Whiskey last month when I was there for NAM, and I was like, wow, so many great people have performed here. It's a crazy place. Maybe one day if I start playing guitar again, who knows? Maybe one day I'll be able to perform here, and then I could say I performed on the same stage. You know, that's awesome. You know. Yeah, so definitely. Hopefully, you get back into playing guitar. I would like to see you play guitar, and I'm going to push myself to get back into it some more. Maybe we can help coach each other to keep going.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Bella, listen, thank you so much for taking the time again to have this conversation with me. Um, Tell David I said hi. I know he couldn't be here, but I'll talk with him soon. And I'm looking forward to more. And you are awesome. Keep
You're
going.
awesome too. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. All right, Bella. I'll talk to you later.
Okay,
All
bye.
right. Bye bye.